What is going on YouTube? This is Jungle Josh D, and yeah, I think I'm going to start talking on these videos because typing everything out has been kind of tedious. So I wanted to hit a couple quick things here. I didn't do a feeding video last Saturday or this Saturday because most of my girls, including this big one, kind of refuse to eat. So I'm in this weird kind of state where they're not eating. I don't know if they're on food strike or whatever the deal is, but I figured I'd bring to you a different kind of video. I had a real good buying experience at my local pet shop, so I wanted to pass that on, and I wanted to show you my new additions. So this, of course, is Ariel, my Brachypelma bomi, which I've actually now, after talking to the pet shop owner, I'm more under the assumption that she is between 10 and 15 years old. She's huge. People talked about housing them in a 10-gallon aquarium. Now, it's probably a little large. She has enough room that she can kind of do whatever she wants, and she uses it. I've seen her just about everywhere in here. And I know I'm going to get flack because of the substrate. I want to be clear, there's a couple different ways to skin a cat. So in this instance, what I did was, as you can see, she has a ton. Hold on, let me move this one out of the way here. Get into her a little bit later. She's one of my new girls. So as you can see, this is a 10-gallon, and I have it not quite halfway filled up with substrate. And that is a real aloe in there. It's a baby, and it seems to be thriving thanks to that little red light, which helps keep things warm for her, which she enjoys. The seashell's cosmetic, and the rose is just kind of my thing. I just got a good deal on fake roses. On the other side, it's much more build up because of that little hide, which is one of those half tubes, so you can kind of see the backside of her. But the big reason I get away with this is because I put this foliage on top, and the foliage actually kind of keeps her from crawling up. Like, she doesn't like it, so she doesn't crawl up much. And because I have half of the cage filled with that, I can kind of get away with this cool, like, double hump. I don't know what you want to call it. Kind of used down in the middle where she has another burrow that goes underground. And she uses both of them, but mostly, like a good bomi or a bami, I'm not sure how it's said, she kind of just sits out. She's one of my better display tarantulas. In contrast, this is my Teal-Ticatl albopilosum. So one of my older ones, and I'll pull the screen off here, she kind of hangs out pretty exclusively in that burrow. I think, yeah, no, can't even catch the backside of her. And that setup right there, again, I could get a lot of flack for because I don't have really tall substrate. But one, the substrate I do use is pretty soft, so if she did climb up, it's not like she'd be hitting, a 2 inches of substrate. And two, I've never seen her climb. Not once. I know that's an issue with some teas, but she really loves just to hang out in her burrow, and she comes out when I feed her. In contrast to my little Hamori here, who is usually one of my best eaters. Sorry, I'll try to get the camera to focus. She's usually one of my best eaters. However, she is in premolt. And that's a question you get a lot. How can you tell? And maybe I can show you. So there she is. She's about 4 inches. She's a good girl. But I'm going to try to zoom in. And if you'll notice, her abdomen is like, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it's kind of shiny. And all of her colors are really dull and bleached out. And she looks very gray. And she stopped eating about a month ago. So that's another one of the ways you can tell they're going into premolt. She's one of my best tarantulas, one of the only ones I hold. I love bee hamoris. Bee hamoris and smithies are my favorite. I love all brackies, but by and large, they're my favorite. And I'm going to talk about one of my newer additions. Somebody else actually bought this tarantula. I didn't buy it, and it is indeed a Carabina versicolor. I got the whole thing, this whole setup. All I had to do was add the substrate, and I tried to make it a little arboreal-like. It certainly could be better, and she will be rehoused in the near future. I really can't get this camera to focus, and it's killing me. But I mean, that's what she's in for now, and I'll see if I can kind of get a shot. Really just can't get it to happen today. Oh, there you go. That's kind of a good one. Not sure if it's male or female. I don't know what the whole deal. And you'll notice, like, the sides. This is clearly a cricket keeper that she just kind of got placed in temporarily. Isn't she glorious? Now, I got the whole setup, everything out the door for a really good price. I'm going to pimp the name of the pet store as Finn Furs and Feathers. It's out of, they have two stores, Quakertown and Harleysville. I got her at the Harleysville location, and I can't say enough good things about them. They separate all of their tarantulas from New World and Old World, arboreal, terrestrial, and fossorial. They have all of their scientific names laid out, and I actually called up just on a whim to see what they had, and they didn't have the two that I wanted. I'm going to hold off for another video. When I do get those, they're going to try to order them for me. But they had this one, and this is one of my bucket list teas. And if you don't know, I'll see if I get another shot of her, maybe to help you out. Look at that. She is, I would take the lid off, but I don't know her temperament, and I don't want this to be a bolty film. But she is a Lasiodora parabonum, also known as the salmon pink bird eater. So a really, really beautiful Brazilian species, South American. They grow epic proportions. This will definitely be the biggest tarantula I have, dwarfing all others. And I'm not crazy about the setup they have here, but it's an appropriate size. I think I'm going to take her out, and I'm going to clean up the substrate, the walls, wipe everything down. You can see she has a lot of duties in the corner, so take care of her, and yeah, I'll make a video about what I do with enclosure. I pretty much have a standard go-to formula that I use. In fact, I'll show it to you. So this is my play bin. Basically, it's topsoil, cocoa fiber, moss. I also keep springtails in there, and I got a bunch of orange isopods. I couldn't tell you, they're South American orange isopods. I'm going to add to this mixture, and I just keep it mixed up. In a bin, it's just in a tub. It's nothing fancy at all. And that's what I use for all my tarantulas. I had really good success. It's really good. It packs easy. It's also like super light, so it's good stuff. I keep all of my tarantulas on it. I haven't had any issues. Holds moisture really well, and it also dries out fairly decent. So like my Bomi up here, she's on that substrate, and if you know anything about most of the brachypelmas, they live in very dry substrate. They have burrows, and in the burrows there's a lot more humidity and moisture in there. I of course live in the Northeast, so all summer long we have like 100% humidity, and then in the winter time it's like next to nothing because my baseboard heat kicks on and it just dries it out. I do have a humidifier that I keep in the room. However, I don't think I can get it anywhere near like 40-50% at best during the winter time. But that's what I use. Lessons you learn from rehousing quick species you're not familiar with: put them in a bigger tub. If they decide to bolt, they have places to go without just running around your room. So always a good idea, not a bad idea with possibly aggressive species. And I don't know how Lasiodora parabonum are. Okay, so she seems pretty chill. I'm sure you all want a video of a bolty tarantula half killing me, but I want to give you a couple pro tips here. If they are super bolty, and let's say it's a new world, or I'm sorry, an old world one that has medically significant venom, and you just can't afford to get bit, Take all of the hides out of their container or their enclosure, and then just put the container you want them in, the catch cup or whatever you're using to temporarily house them. Put that in there and let them start using it naturally. And then when you get a chance, just close the lid on it. I don't know why people enjoy videos of tarantulas bolting all over and causing the keeper and the tarantula a serious risk of being scared, but there are smarter ways to go about things, so, use that big boy human brain. Okay, so I have a very upset and pissed off tarantula. She went right after the tongs, didn't hurt herself, I don't think, threw her butt in the air and was very, very unhappy with me. Not wholly a surprise. She's been pretty stressed, had about an hour-long car ride, and, all the vibrations and noise, plus some talking at her. It's part of the reasons I didn't film it is because, one, I don't want to overstress them, and two, I'm a wuss. I definitely get scared, and, you don't need to hear me scream when they freak out. She didn't really flick hairs. She does not appear to be a hair flicker, which is not great, all things considered. I'd rather them flick hairs than, bite. But apparently she's a stand your ground kind of girl, which I will use the utmost respect while doing this. So there we have it. I don't want to bore you with the details, but I reused the wood piece, just made it a little deeper, and then added these fake plants. They were both in there. I just cleaned them up, washed the crap off, and I need to get me a label maker because I really love that. It's got pretty deep substrate. It's got plenty to move around. That burrow is nice and deep. It can dig more if it wants to. There's still substrate. So yeah, now I'm going to try to put it in and watch how that goes. Now, I know everybody likes to see the cool freak out videos where the squirrely tarantula scares the crap out of the keeper. But in all honesty, in an effort of keeping her as unstressed out as possible, I want to make this transition pretty easy for her. I could easily put the top on this and let her climb out, and I think she would be about as happy as pie. I am going to try one thing on camera, and then I'm just going to slowly push it over so that she has the option. She can go right into her burrow if she wants. I know there's a lot of glare. She's kind of holding her ground. She's not a happy girl at all. But maybe she'll go down. I think she's kind of getting the hang of it. You gotta understand, tarantulas are not aggressive. They're defensive. To her, I'm a huge predator, and she's pretty much assured that I'm about to kill her. So she's been, she kicked a couple hairs at me. She went after the tongs really hardcore. It's just the nature of owning a spider. They're not, even though they're big to us as far as spider world go, in their natural habitat, they're nothing but prey. Monkeys eat them, coatis? I'm not sure how you say it, but pretty much everything that comes along, birds, snakes, bigger bugs, they're prey at them. So, you can see she's actually, she's kind of threat posing in the cup. So I'm not going to stress her out anymore. I'm just going to let her get into that naturally. When she chills out, I'll open up her enclosure and I'll take that out. So I hope you enjoyed somewhat my little tour. I know you didn't get to see all of my tarantulas. If you watched my video, you're probably wondering about my chromatopelma. You're probably worrying about little anathema, my smaller brachypelma humori. I'll get to those as they start eating again, coming out of this molt. I'm going to keep doing videos. This one just was fortunate. And I'm hoping that this shop can help me get my last 2 on my bucket list, because honestly, I don't want 35, 50 tarantulas. There's only a handful more that I want, and they seem pretty confident they can get them to me. So stay safe. Remember, these are living creatures too. They're just trying to survive, so treat them with a little respect, and it goes a long way. Thank you.